Good afternoon, everyone. Hello and welcome to 4 p.m. Please thank our quartet for today. Miranda, Fran, Caleb and Martin. My name is Dean Stevenson, and I'm the 4 p.m. guy. If you've been walking past today and you've seen a guy sat at the piano, that was me. So the premise of 4 p.m. is that every day is new music. Every day there's a fresh start, and I just sit there and write music all day. And at 4 p.m, which is now, these fine people show up to play what I've written today. So they haven't, these 4 people are yet to know what today's piece is like. I'm yet to know what today's piece is like, because I was at the piano. Suddenly there's a string quartet in the room. And you're yet to learn what today's piece is about. So we're going to lift the lid, I suppose, open the bonnet of the machine, and do what you don't normally see, because you normally pay a ticket price to get past all of this stuff, and you just see the show we've rehearsed. Well, tough. Today, we're going to show you the bolts. We're going to rehearse today's piece, because none of us know how it goes, and then in a few minutes we'll stop and start, we'll ask questions, and then we'll play it for you, start to finish, once we've got to the end. That's what today's about, and I've been doing this now at 4 p.m. For 412 days. This is the 412th step. That was either like, good on you, or what a dickhead. It's one of those. So that's what I've been doing here at 4 p.m. for that long. So it's not always the same musicians, but it's pretty much the same instruments all the time to increase the challenge, make the same sounds. I have to make the same 4 instruments fresh each day. How have I gone today? No idea. So we're going to start to do it now. There's a screen there. You can see my score whizzing by. If you can't see it, there's a paper copy here. Don't take it home. I need that. Let me go back. Think of a question that we might have to come and answer. Now, I've reserved this table for some people who haven't shown up, so they're shit out of luck. So now there's a table here. Quick and the dead. Come in and get it. Right. Okay. There they go, yes! Hey, woo! Okay, right, okay, so, now, today's piece, I think, if I was to use a descriptor, I would say it's a Slavic melody, but I think in that kind of stiff, upper back kind of Slavic thing, that like, there's plenty of stories of composers, like we talk of Shostakovich or Prokofiev, you probably know those names, even if you don't know their music, who their music can be quite angry, because they were like Soviet era, like, there's a lot to be angry about, and it's cold, and it's so much to be angry about, but also some really tender, beautiful love melodies. So today starts with a kind of a stiff upper back Slavic thing, but then there's a lovely kind of human melody that comes in, and then I try to make them fight a bit, and we can see who wins. Okay, here we go, day 412. Hello everyone. Hello. Nice to see you. Yes, there you are. Thank you. Okay, so let's hear what it sounds like, because the first 9 bars, the Slavic melody I refer to is in the viola. Yes, just all alone. Play around with the time if you like. Yes. Serious, yeah. Okay, so we've established the mystery and what have you through the viola line, and now the viola is joined by the cello. Upbeat. B. And they're up to let us see. Okay. Yeah. No, I think. Oh yeah. Thank you. I don't trust me. I look at you to know where we are. Okay. It's both kind of proud and stiff upper back, and yet it's mysterious at the same time. It's not giving you like a house or a centre or anything to kind of grip onto yet. So let's see where we go. Now we're going to hear an echo. Like I want this to sound, to feel like it's like coming from a distant room. that distant sort of lovely, right on C. One bar alone. Viola in. Is D. Yeah. E. Hold there. Okay. They're sight reading this, by the way. They've never seen it before. They're very... Round of applause, please. They're very clever. What's so good for me to hear this played by people, it's amazing. It's just been in my brain all day. My brain's tired and done with this shit. Right, so we've established our da-da-da-da, which will get louder and more ridiculously proud as the piece goes on. There's some fortissimos there, so now we've heard a bit of both melodies, so now we've got upbeat into F, unless there's questions. Oh, okay, upbeat into F. Whoops. Did I do that right? Okay, up and into F. Echo the line, second and viola. Unison. G. Okay, wow, okay, there's a lot of notes, a lot of aggression there, lots of accents. Any questions about any of that? So there's... Yeah. Yep.
Can we try from G?
Yep.
Again?
From G, yep. Yep. Okay, that was fun. Yes, good. Good idea. Much faster, much better. Okay, so now we're getting to the slow it down a little bit for the letter I. Now I'm going to come back and there's two things. If you have any questions, you don't have a drink. They took the table, front row, and then they haven't got a drink. There's a bar around the corner. Avail yourself. Go for it. So if you have any questions that you're interested about what we're talking about, or you've always wanted to talk to a cellist, let's think of a question and we'll have a bit of a shout out in a second. The second is the 4 p.m. drinking game, which is why you need a drink. Orchestral musicians love their pencils. They love to write stuff on the score, little notes and triggers for themselves. Because I see all 4 parts here, but they only see their parts, so they're writing notes about other people's parts and etc. So pick a person at random, choose a person, every time they touch a pencil, have a drink. Okay? The 4 p.m. drinking game. All right. From I? Yep. There's that Slavic melody coming in. J. 3, 3, 3.
Yep. Quite there.
Yep. When we get this, sorry, double stops into like 3 before J. Can I get like a dugang on those? I want to get that dugang. G bump bagang, just to get that. I should have put a little arrow, up arrow. 4th beat of 61. It's a double stop, but I want to hear the.
Yeah. Like you mean you want broken?
Yes, please. Yes. That's the word I'm looking for. Broken. Thank you. Yes, please. Yes.
J is enough.
Let's do J.
Let's do I then, so we can do this from I.
Does that mean each one is like that?
Especially not after J.
Right.
Not after J. Just those
All of them.
up to J. The 1, 2, 3 bars before J. Thank you. Pretty. Right, so when we get to the L, the bar before L is basically to sound like that. The first 3 beats of the 5/4 bar. One is the chord, rather than putting a pause. That's one of the longer bar to feel that moment sort of holding and distilling before we go into L. L's nice and soft, and then a very really ethereal feel at M. So it kind of opens up and gets nice. Those Slavic people can go fuck themselves. Yeah. M, third bar of M. Cello. Now, good. So we've had our we've shown the kind of the beastie melody and the soft melody, and now we're going to hear a bit of a battle between them. So da 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 dum underneath and the soft one on top. From letter P. And the reference to you? Go. Reference in the viola. Here we go. This is the love theme. R. Viola. Okay, so hold there, very, very good. That when we hear that beat, it's almost like I'm not sure if it's the guy that's cheating on the lover or whether it's like that kind of right hand man of the evil president. I don't know who it is, but there's something. So your line's the spooky line at letter S, and then so letter S can be a bit quicker than R, please. So pick that up, and then for the 1 3 5 4 before T. first and viola have these dee ba da be ba, the scoops up together. And then second before T, really push it in, then relax into T again. Who's drinking? Pencils, come on, pencils, have a drink. I think have you got anyone thought of questions yet? Is anyone like really? I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
A little bit faster than what?
You can ask any questions you like. Well, I mean, not about. I mean, specific to this, not about what my shoes I'm wearing, but every day. This is today's piece. This was from this morning. Everyone, there's always someone. Yes, good question. What inspires me this morning? I'll tell you what inspired me this morning. This is me at 10 o'clock this morning. I shall probably look better than I do now at 10 o'clock this morning. Oops, no. It sounded like this. It was this shit. No. That's it. Literally, that was me sat at the piano this morning going, find some notes that sound nice. That was after. Fucking, I don't do anything before coffee. No. So that's literally it. There wasn't like I'm thinking of Romeo and Juliet. Or I'm thinking of I had my heart broken last night. Or the idea that you have to look for something, I think, is the greatest mistake about creativity. In that, if you think you have to look for a thing, like you have to write, you can only be creative, be it music or poetry or woodwork or whatever your thing is. If you can only do it once you've had your heart broken, or you can only do it when you've been struck by lightning, or you can only do it when trauma gets you, and then when that comes, you go, I want to just sit in this heartbreak and. Like you're waiting to be creative rather than just being creative. So if I thought that happened and I only got heartbroken once every 10 years, that's not a lot of music in my life. And by the time, and then one day I would get heartbroken, and they go, right, okay, so how, right, C, where's that again? So I'll be rusty. Whereas this way, I'm on the tools all the time, and inspiration finds you when you just show up. Is my provocation. So which completely eliminates the idea of writer's block. There's no such thing. $412 days. Do I evolve? I'm just de-evolving. I used to be much better than this. Yes, of course. My practice gets better the more I sit and do this. I do use the bass. There is, I think the little pretty melody. I took that from 3 days ago. That little melody. That's it. So I take them. I might write a piece and I go, it's all pretty average, but these 2 bars here, they were great. And that's what creativity is all about. You just show up and make stuff, and then you go, this bit works. The rest of it, whatever. It was just training, but these 2 bars are good. So the pretty melody, which you hear in violin, that's what I took from 3 days ago. So yeah, there's always evolution. So think of creativity like a sourdough starter. You always just feed it and it grows into something else. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going. T. Key change. Ready. That's the stolen melody. Good. Now hold here. So what we've just heard, we've heard a bit of bee da 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 bum bum, the pretty love melody, as well as the strong Slavic one. So we've heard them combating, and what I think happened, what I tried to do. This is wanky composer talk now. So shut your ears. At bar just before X, we hear in the cello dee da. He wants to go ba da 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 dum ba da. He wants to play the beautiful melody, but he ends up kind of bringing himself back to the other one, the strident melody, which at X you take over. So you're being snuffed out.
Should we do a crescendo into X? Or do you want to...
I've got a crescendo.
Yes, please. Sorry. Crescendo.
And W is a bit faster than what we had before.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Yep. Everyone has an upbeat into W.
So is there a pause on the third beat of the bar before W?
No pause. No pause.
Just a rit and then
Just a rit.
lift.
A lift.
Yeah.
It's just a lift.
Okay.
Bit of daylight.
Shall we go from 2 before X?
2 before X. Happy with that? Yep. 2 before X. It's like an alarm sounding. A car alarm. Why? Z. We ended with a pretty one. That was the last bar. We got there. Woo! Miranda, Fran, Caleb, Marty. Okay. Right, so we got to the end. So now they're going to touch their pencils again. You're going to have a drink, and we're going to play it all the way through because it's just been bits and pieces. Yet we don't quite know how it goes. I don't really know how it sticks together. All right. Any bits you want to run again?
I'm not sure.
Sorry, they're still talking. Has anybody got any questions?
That's still a big run.
No.
So Q goes forward.
If I know the musicians, no. I mean, I know they're all good. They've been here plenty of times. So, if I don't want to limit what I write or have to go, oh my God, they're so much better than I can write. That's the reality. They're so much better. I can throw so many notes at the page, and they all just go, yeah, whatever, next. Oh, fuck you, every time. I guess there's two things. These people are professional sight readers. That's what they do for a living. So I can kind of rely on them to sort of be able to manage anything that I can conjure during the day. They're very good. They're like circus freak level good. But that's what you get from playing since you were 18 months old, and not learning to drive a car. And that's all you can do. No, sorry. Well, you drive a motorbike. Come on. You don't even drive a car. Right. So what we did. This is, as I said, this is the 412 days. It's also the fourth season of this installation at Mona. They've been very gracious in bringing us back here. So at the end of each season so far, which has been 3, we stop and we make some kind of best ofs. There's 3 of them, 3 volumes of albums over here, CDs or downloads, whatever your thing is, which you can take home. Come and see me. I can give you one up at the shop. But there's also, there's the downloads too. If you only do downloads, there's a little bit of my score, and there's 3 albums of downloads in that little envelope up at the shop, all from me. But this is the kind of the big. I like this. This is 150 days of 4 p.m. where I kept a journal every day. So I wrote a journal. I kept a little diary bit, as well as some little essays and thoughts on creativity, excerpts of things. And you can see there's microphones. So we record everything that's on. So there's 11 hours of music you access through a code in that book. It's a bit of a ripper, as well as the live stream. Hi, Mum. And all the things. So 4 p.m. is a conversation about creativity, and I come up here and I write something. I mean, I have, the question. Some days it's not good, right? Come on, be honest. Some days I write crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? It's crap. I mean, I could have said it first, but then you wouldn't believe me, but I have to say it. Some days it's really genuinely awful. But out of 412 days, you expect some days to be bad. And that's my provocation to you as people who do things, poetry or whatever you do creatively, that little spark in you. If you expect to shit a diamond every time, then you've been misled. Because that's not the way it goes. So just be comfortable with actually shitting a shit. And sometimes it's a diamond. Who knows? You just have to keep going. Now, do you want me to sit here? It's okay?
We might stuff up. But,
All right, so we'll probably play it twice through now, so we'll get to know what it's like as an arc, and then we'll do it again probably a second time once we know how it goes. So here we go. Here it is. Day 412. Miranda, Fran, Caleb, Martin. Whoosh. There you go. Right. Okay. What do you think? No, so that was a terrible question. There you go. That's what happens. We write a piece and we do that, and then tonight we take it home and eat it, and then tomorrow start again. That's what we do here at 4 Any questions? We'll give it another crack.
I just noticed he was shouting something back when he was
Why only those 4? Well, 2 reasons. One is I wanted to choose the same instruments. So the challenge for me is to try and make the same instruments fresh every day. If it varied, it would be like, oh, today, what have I got today? But this is why it's the same 4 instruments every day, so I have to rise to the same sounds and make it fresh. Logistically, and I like strings. I just like strings. Logistically, it is easier. There's like if I chose brass, for example, there's 2 tuba players in town. One could be sick and the other one could be on holiday, so I'm fucked. So I can't do that. And there's a whole bunch of logistical reasons why strings is a more practical one, but also I just like strings. Yeah. But having the same sounds every day is the big challenge to try and 400 days of the same quartet. Wow. Okay, that's part of it. Yeah. So do I try to take people on an emotional journey, or is it just sounds? But the sounds are quite emotional. I think I don't think in the morning today I'm gonna make everyone drown. I'm not gonna try and do that to you. I just follow my mood, my energy, whether I feel like I've got a lot of it or a little of it. And I guess a composer's task or job is to know. It's a thin claim to say to a composer, you know how to write spooky music. And then what are the chords? Play me a spooky chord. I don't really know. There's no textbook on that, really. But I know how to write things, intervals and tempos and chords to suggest whether it's a melancholy thing or whether it's a love song or whether there's a boogeyman in the cupboard. So I can try and do that too, but I'm not trying to deliberately, make you cry or anything. But that's the composer's job, to know what those technical things are. I'm just writing technical things that sound emotive, but I'm not pouring emotion onto the page, because that's not what it's about. It's about putting a technique onto the page. Yeah. I don't know, it feels pretty good. Does it feel pretty good? Yeah, it's a little programmatic maybe. Yeah, it's pretty good, yeah. It's good, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's great. It's, yeah. I don't know. Why do they have paper? Because they can't afford them. No, they do. Well, because I would have to send them a digital copy. It's just easier for me to print it. I mean, we could do that. We could do iPads.
I might start using iPads.
Yeah, iPads are good. I have an iPad because otherwise I'm writing it by hand. And if I make one, that's a terrible idea, because I don't have enough time in the day between opening doors and 4 p.m. to write something by hand. Well, you know, some of the masters did, Bach, but they're dead, so no one cares. All right, so let's, one more time, day 412. Thank you. Yes, Miranda, Fran, Caleb, Marty. Woo! Thank you so much, everyone. That's 4 p.m. for today. My name is Dean Stevenson. Come and have a chat about some of the recordings in the book. Otherwise, have a lovely week. Thanks for sticking around. Love your time. Bye.